I was at home one day solving 5x5 when I realized, hey, my cubes kinda suck. So I upgraded all my cubes from 2x2
Wow, oh my god.
to 6x6
Oh my god.
to the cubes used by actual world record holders to find out once and for all if having a better cube will lead to better times. Alright, I'm so excited to get into these cubes. Let's see what SpeedCube Shop sent us. Alright, we got 1 cube, 2 cubes, 3 cubes, 4 cubes, and 5 cubes. So we'll start off with the 2x2. This is the GAN 251 Pro. It's the world record cube for 2x2. It's what Yiheng used to break the 2x2 average world record a little while ago. How I found it was I looked at his world record video and saw that the cube had a GAN logo, so it was either the 251 or the 251 Pro, and my sources told me that it was probably the 251 Pro. So what do we have here? I wish I had like a second camera angle that I could use to show you guys. Yeah, let me get my GoPro for that or something. It's got some accessories in here. We have these different customizable nut things, I guess. I don't exactly know what these are called, but it's the GES customization system. And in here we have the cube. I assume you just press this button and it opens. Oh, that's nice. I don't think I've ever had a GAN cube that had that box. So that's awesome. This 2x2 is really lightweight too. It's like noticeably lighter than my current main 2x2, which is the, I believe it's the Volk 2M. This is a very light cube. I thought since it's a, you know, kind of more premium flagship GAN cube, might be a little more heavy, a little more solid feeling. Can't get this tape apart. Oh my god, I'm taking a point away from GAN for making their cubes hard to open. Alright. We're finally in. Let's feel this baby. Oh my god. Okay, so I did order the SpeedCube Shop Supernova lubrication service for every one of these cubes, since I hate setting up cubes and I'd much rather people who know what they're doing do it for me. So I did pay extra for the lubrication service, so it's very lubey on the outside. And wow, oh my god, it's kind of hard to control. I might add some like heavier springs or heavier lube or something in here. This is much harder to control than what I'm used to, although it is faster, so I can't really blame it. Maybe it's something I just have to get used to. Also, this is my first stickerless 2x2. I just realized that. I ordered all these cubes in stickerless. Stickerless, much better than stickered cubes. I realized that after this cube. After I used this cube for like 5 years and the stickers became all nasty. But, oh wow, it's also a lot bigger. Let me whip out the GoPro again. You can barely tell from the outside. It's maybe like a millimeter or 2 bigger, but you definitely feel it when you're turning it. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. Also, I realized this is the biggest box out of all these cubes, despite being the smallest cube. So that's kind of funny. Let's use my SpeedCube Shop mat. Again, thank you SpeedCube Shop for being my sponsor and for sending me these $300 worth of cubes. Let's do some solves. Oh my god. Oh wow, right off the bat it's kind of hard to control. I'm not sure if I'm loving this out of the box. But Yiheng used it to break the world record, so it's gotta be good. Oh my god, again. Oh, wow. Okay, that was just a lucky solve. That was a 2.03. We'll just do one more solve before moving on to the bigger cubes. Guys, plus two's don't count at home, guys. So this cube is worth $42, including the lube service at SpeedCube Shop. So it's a very premium, steep price for a 2x2. I mean, there's flagship 3x3s cheaper than that. And for each of these cubes, I'm gonna be ranking it on whether it's better than my current main. So this is the Volk 2M. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of preferring this. I do see potential in this. Maybe I just have to set it up better to my liking, make it a bit more controllable, because it is like really, really fast out of the box. I know I got the Supernova lube service, which kind of does make it faster because I do like my cubes fast just overall. but this is really fast to the point where I have to get used to it so it's not totally uncontrollable. So with some additional setup, I'm expecting this to be my new main, but right out of the box, I don't think I prefer it to the Valk. Hey, Editing Tebow here. I'll be jumping in every once in a while in this video to give my thoughts on each cube after like a week of using them. So I've done a few dozen solves on this 2x2. It's really nice to turn. I do think it's a really smooth, really great cube, and I've gotten a lot more accustomed to the stickerless look of this cube, just in terms of like recognition, but I'm still not sure if I prefer it to this Valk 2M. I kind of prefer the heavier and a little bit smaller form factor of this cube. Even though it's a little less fast than the GAN, it's honestly a toss-up as to which one is my main. I get kind of equal times on both of these. So yeah, the GAN 251 Pro is really nice, but is it my new main? I'll just consider these both my mains. I give it 6 cubes out of 10. But let me tell you, the cubes we have coming up were much, much crazier and made insane differences to my times. I don't want to spoil anything, but keep watching. Next up is the 3x3. Now, this 3x3 was actually what inspired me to make this video, because if you look at my current main 3x3, the GAN 14, you'll see that I broke it. I broke it by accident, but it's fine now because we have the upgrade, the Pro version, the GAN 14 Pro. So I originally wasn't too confident as to whether this was the cube that Yiheng used to break the 3x3 average world record, or if it was the GAN 12. But I did hear from my many sources, thank you guys, I'll shout you out in text down here, that it was the GAN 14 Pro. He just recently switched to this cube from the GAN 12, according to my sources. And this I'm very excited about, much more excited than 2x2, because 3x3 is my main event. And I really, really did love the GAN 14, that was like my favorite cube of all time. And I've heard actually not too great things about the original GAN 14, such as the fact that it popped pretty often. Which I can kind of confirm. It popped sort of often, as more often than I would like it to. And that was kind of my one gripe with the cube. This apparently fixes that. Oh yes, I'm liking this right off the bat. It's a little too looby for my liking, so maybe I should have not gotten the Supernova service with this cube. But right off the bat, I am loving this. This is absolutely, you don't even need to wait for the end for me to reveal this. This is my new main 3x3. I definitely prefer it to the GAN 14, or I guess my broken GAN 14. I don't know how it'll stack up to, you know, my old main in solves. Oh, it's very slippery just from the lube that the guys over at SCS put in it. But yeah, no problem so far. I just gotta dry it off a bit. I think I will have to do that with all these cubes. Just dry off the factory lube, which I expect it to become not as strong or not as noticeable in the next few days when I do a ton of solves on it. Let's just do another solve because that was enjoyable. $12.07. Okay, can we get a sub 10? My god, it's slippery. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to break this cube in because right now it is extremely slippery and it's kind of messing me up. But that's kind of how all cubes are right out of the box. I am really loving this. Yes! 949, you didn't see that +2. What are you talking about? You're lying. So this cube, again, we're buying only flagships, only premium cubes on this TeboeCubes channel because you're getting the premium experience. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But this cube is $80. So it's definitely a high-end flagship for $80, but it feels like one. It definitely lives up to that price tag. I'm loving this cube. Do I prefer it to my original GAN 14? Absolutely. Hey, Editing Tebow here once again. Did you miss me? After about a week of using this GAN 14 Pro and honestly probably over 1,000 solves on it, I can say that this cube is absolutely incredible, especially after customizing it. I didn't realize when I first opened this how customizable this cube was. There's this insane looking tool that you can use to press down on the center cap to get it up. This right here is just so futuristic and so cool. And you can not only adjust the tensions and elasticity of the things here with, I guess these numbers. It took me a while to learn how to use these, but it's pretty cool. You can also adjust the magnet strengths in the edges and the corners, which I'd never seen in a cube before. I realized later actually that this was also on the GAN 14. I just never took the time to customize it. But yeah, after tensioning this cube to my liking and wiping off some of the lube, I do think it was a bit over lubed, but after customizing it to my liking, it's so much better than my GAN 14 ever was, and I've smashed some PBs on it. I think I've broken my PB average of 100, maybe my PB average of 12, and also I've noticed that on my old GAN 14, about 1 in every 5 solves was a sub 10 because I average around 11, and on this cube, around 1 in every 3 solves is a sub 10 on a good day. So I think this cube actually did make me faster, and I love it. I give it 9.5 cubes out of 10. And now for the 4x4. Okay, that was easy. This is a lot simpler packaging compared to GAN cubes. From here on out, these cubes will be the ones that Max Park uses, and I heard a few conflicting answers as to which cube Max Park used to break the 4x4 single world record. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm using the world record that was broken most recently, single or average. So for 3x3 I use average, for 4x4 I'm using single, since that's just what was broken more recently. And these next cubes, the 4x4, 5x5, and 6x6, I'm really excited about, since my current mains for these cubes are really old. Like, this 4x4 is not that good. It's old from like 2018, and I can already tell it's a tiny bit smaller, I think. Or is it? Maybe that's just my mind playing tricks on me. But it looks about 1 millimeter or so smaller. Turning it right now, just scrambling it. I like this thing a lot. It seems a little unstable. It seems like I could get this thing to pop with just a couple turns like that. It's like kind of locking a little bit, but I don't feel it about to pop. So that might be kind of a good thing. Let me just do a solve. I average like 50 seconds on 4x4, so maybe this will, you know, kind of help me improve on that. Oh my god, I stuck at 4x4. I'm so rusty. Oh, ew, double parity. Alright, not a great solve, but it was still sub 1, so that's gotta mean something. Let's just do another solve on this. Ready, set, go. Oh, no parity, I got a 50. Okay. So after a couple solves, it does turn a lot nicer. This cube is $52 at SpeedCube Shop, so if you want to get any cube from this video, maybe make it this one if you want to spend less money. And you can save even more money on this cube or any cube in this video by using the code TEBO at SpeedCube Shop for 5% off. It really does help out the channel when you use the code, and if you comment down below on this video that you use the code and you tell me what cube you used it on, I'll reply and I might even give you a shout out in the next video. So does the stickerless look on this cube need some getting used to? Yes, but does it turn a lot better than this cube? I mean, this cube actually just feels like garbage compared to the one that I just opened. So is it my new main? Absolutely. Hey, Editing Tebow here, I'm back. I'll make this one quick, I won't waste your time, because this is probably the cube I have the least to say about. Out of all the cubes in this video, I've definitely used the 4x4 the least, just because my times didn't show a crazy improvement after using this cube. It's definitely the fastest and best 4x4 I've ever owned, but I already kind of averaged 45 to 50 seconds on 4x4, meaning I was getting around the same times I usually did with this cube. 45s, 50s, no crazy PBs or anything. It's just nice having a stickerless cube that you can turn without worrying about peeling stickers. Aside from that, honestly, not much to say about this cube. I definitely wasn't as blown away by this cube as I was by the 3x3 or by the upcoming cubes I'm about to unbox. But yeah, I do like this cube. I'll give it a 7 cubes out of 10. So now we're moving on to the 5x5. As you saw in the beginning of this video, my 5x5 kind of sucks, locks up a ton. You see? So the world record holder for 5x5 right now is Max Park. He broke the single world record with this cube, and I actually scoured the internet for the longest time trying to find out what cube he used, and I couldn't figure it out. People were saying it was the Hong, people were saying it was the MoYu cube or whatever, people were saying it was the GAN, so I could not figure out what cube he used until one of my sources was at the North American Championships. He was one of the scramblers or judges or something, but he actually saw Max Park at the competition and told me personally that he uses the Hong. So this is, I think, Chi? Yeah, the Chi Hong 5x5. This is my current 5x5. Let's see how this turns. Oh my god. Oh, it locked up a little bit, but this turns phenomenally. It had like one lockup at the beginning, but you kind of expect that to happen when you're turning big cubes really fast. I think I just kind of scrambled this thing already, so let me just scramble it. It's very like loose out of the box, I feel like. I can like pull the layers apart in a way that I can't do with this cube. So it might take some getting used to. Maybe I'll retension it or something. But right off the box, this is phenomenal. This is my current main 5x5. It's the cubing classroom one, the MoYu AoShi like MF5. Maybe it was good 6 years ago and it was a passable cube, but I've noticed it locking up a ton. Like I can't even corner cut it a little bit without having a lockup. So these kind of annoying lockups happen all the time when I'm solving 5x5. Side note, actually, I hate to go on like this weird tangent, but what happened was my 3x3 broke a couple months ago. So since then, I've been focusing a lot on side events like 5x5, Megaming, 7x7. So I was doing 5x5 a ton, and I just realized this wasn't a good cube, at least for 2024 standards. That's what kind of inspired me to make this video. So I'm gonna do a solve on this new and definitely improved 5x5. I can just already tell I'm gonna be smashing so many PBs on this. For reference, I average around 2 minutes, maybe 2:15. Let's see what I get on this cube. Okay. I am kind of rusty. I haven't solved 5x5 in a while. But right off the bat, I can tell this is just phenomenal. 152, there we go. So yeah, it's actually very rare that I get a sub 2 on 5x5, and I just got a 152 right now. So that's a testament to how good this cube is. I don't have those weird lockups that sometimes can take seconds off my solve. And once I actually wipe off this cube, do a few more solves on it, I'll come back to you with my final thoughts. There we go, I just wiped it off. It's already a lot more stable feeling. And yeah, this cube is $60 at SpeedCube Shop if you include the loop service like I did. This is actually a cube that I would really recommend the loop service. This feels phenomenal with the loop service. The 2x2 and 3x3, I'm not super sure about. I do kind of like those cubes to feel a bit drier, but maybe it'll just wear off with time. But this 5x5 does actually feel incredible with the lube already in it, straight out of the box. So I would recommend you get this with the lube service. It is $60. It's a premium, very pricey cube. Do I prefer this to my old main? This absolutely, again, just feels like garbage compared to, look at this. This is my old main. Get it out of here. I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, this feels phenomenal. It's absolutely my new main. The world record holders, they have some good taste. I don't know. Hey, Editing Tebow here again to yap about this 5x5 more than I already did in the video. So I've probably done like 150 or 200 solves in this 5x5. I've been absolutely obsessed with this cube and I've been smashing my PBs. I said in the video that before this cube, I used to average like 215, and now you can see I'm getting sub 130s pretty consistently with this cube. I've broken all my PBs, my single, my mean of 3, my average of 5, and so on. See, I have a 140, average of 100, and I'm honestly just averaging around 140 on this cube, which is an insane difference. The magnets are not too strong, not too weak. I haven't had that many lockups on this cube, and the lockups I have had have been pretty easy to fix. This just makes 5x5 a really fun event to practice, and it dropped my overall average by 30 seconds. What more can you want from a 5x5? I give this 10 cubes out of 10. And now, for the final cube, the 6x6. So this is the $54 MoYu AoShi WRM. It's the kind of most flagship, best 6x6 there is, at least according to the people I've talked to about it. I'm not a 6x6 expert, but it's the one that Max Park used to break the 6x6 world record. And this is kind of a funny story, but since I bought this cube on SpeedCube Shop, Max Park broke his own world record like 2 or 3 times. So I'm so glad he's the best at 6x6, because if anyone else had broken the record using a different cube, this video would be outdated already when it came out. But right off the bat, this turns incredibly. It's a little bit gummy, I think. Maybe the lube just needs to break in a bit. It did feel a little bit gummy right out of the box. Oh, a center cap just flew out onto my shirt. That's not an amazing sign, but you know, it's not the end of the world. But I hope that's not a common problem with this cube. Maybe I was just spamming TPS a little too hard. But yeah, I'm just trying to break in this cube. You see it has these little like holes near the corners so it can corner cut more easily. You misalign it a little bit. Corner cuts. Is this magnetic? Oh my god, it's a magnetic 6x6. My current main 6x6 and 5x5 for that matter is non-magnetic. It's the Cubing Classroom MoYu AoShi MF6, and it's, now that I'm turning it, compared to this other cube, it's like kind of crappy by today's standards. This AoShi WRM is also noticeably smaller, which I really like. And yeah, I've never loved doing 6x6 just because I've never had a good cube for it. When I unboxed this cube, I thought it was good compared to the Shangshao 6x6 that I had, but also that was the Shangshao 6x6. And now I'm having the same feeling right now. I'm opening this cube and it's noticeably 100 times better than this cube, because this cube's like 6 years old and a budget cube, and this cube is $54 and a premium flagship cube. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to solve this because I've just never enjoyed doing 6x6 because I've never had a good cube for it. So hopefully this can convert me into a 6x6 fan. Let me scramble it up. So on 6x6, I average pretty close to 5 minutes. Actually, another funny story is I have this really bad 6x6, this really bad budget 6x6, and I actually have a decent 7x7. I have the MGC 7x7, which is why I didn't get a 7x7 in this video, because I'm already happy with the 7x7 I have. And this cube is so good, and this cube is so bad, that I average around the same on 7x7 and 6x6. I probably have a faster 7x7 single than 6x6, just because I actually like solving 7x7 on this cube, and I hate solving 6x6 on this cube. So hopefully I can get a good single and maybe some good times on this 6x6. Ready, set, go. Oh my god, I suck at 6x6 so bad. It's okay, we got this. And oh my god! Look at that! It's a 350! This is my personal best, you can see on the screen, was 4 minutes and 37 seconds, and I just got a 350. That's how good this cube is, compared to this pile of junk that I'm not going to throw over there because I don't want to break it, but I'll throw it over there on the bed. Oh my lord! This is a great cube, I guess. And believe me, I know it's hard to tell from just seeing the solve on camera, but this was not a great solve. This was a pretty lame solve with like 2 types of parity, but it was still my first ever sub 4 and I broke my PB by over 40 seconds. Do you realize how like insane that is? This cube, my first ever solve on this cube, broke my PB by 45 seconds. Is this my new main 6x6? What kind of question is that? Absolutely. Hey, Editing Tebow here for the last time, I promise. But let me just give my thoughts on this 6x6 after about a week of using it. I've probably done more 6x6 solves in the past week than I ever have before, because this is the first cube that really made 6x6 fun for me. Usually I would just get so annoyed by the method, whether it was the parity or having to make sure the centers are in the right place, to even bother using one of my mediocre 6x6s for it. But now that I have this cube, I've done over 100 solves on it, and I really don't have any complaints about it. As I said in the video, I used to average around 5 minutes on 6x6, and I thought it was crazy that I even got a 3 minutes and 50 second solve. But now I'm getting low 3s and even sub 3s pretty consistently over these 89 solves that I've done. Hey, Editing Tebow here, just here to clear up a discrepancy. I said I did over 100 solves in this cube, and yet I show an 89 solve session and say that I did 89 solves. I did actually do over 100 solves in this cube. It's just that my first few solves were deleted because I cleared my cache on my browser, which deleted the few solves that I did before. So just wanted to clear that up. Back to Editing Tebow. I'm averaging around 315 now, which means that this cube single-handedly brought down my average by nearly 2 minutes. That is incredible. Bonus points to this cube for actually making me enjoy 6x6 for once. I give it 9 cubes out of 10. Minus 1 point because it's 6x6. So thank you to SpeedCube Shop for sending me all these incredible cubes. Even the ones that I weren't like too keen on, it will probably grow on me with some breaking in, because these are all just the most amazing cubes, like endorsed by the world record holders. Thank you as well to all my sources who helped me find which cubes were used by the world record holders. They were not as easy as I thought to find, so thank you to all the people who did the investigative work for me. And most of all, thank you to you guys for watching all the way through and helping me reach 500,000 subscribers. Let's get to 1 million soon, I don't know. And yeah, again, if you use the code Tebow at SpeedCube Shop and comment down below what you got using the code, I might give you a shout out in the next video. My next video is kind of crazy. I did 1 million turns on a Rubik's Cube and it's a pain to edit, but it's gonna be out pretty soon. Over here next to my head is another video that I think you'll like, and see you in the next video.